We are back with another jam-packed episode of Lunes Live. Your favorite compas got you covered with all of our week 9 takeaways. Taylor Swift making her way into Arrowhead Stadium. I'm sure fans are going to be very excited about that. We'll get into everything. We'll get into the Chargers win over the Browns. Are they real? Rams stun the Seahawks in overtime. Is it time to sell if you're the Seahawks? Raiders, Saints. The Saints let go of Dennis Allen. Should they get rid of Derek Carr next? We'll get into all the Lions. Now everybody was saying they're in a dome. They're in a dome. Now they get out of the dome and they dominate the Green Bay Packers. Are they for real? Is Jordan Love what's stopping the Packers? We'll get into all of that. Gilberto, how are you doing today?
I am doing well, and you actually are setting me up for the engagement question of the week. You mentioned Derek Carr there, and that is a big question now because, fun fact, Dennis Allen has been fired now twice with Derek Carr as the starting quarterback. So, the question now, should the Saints move on from Derek Carr? I think so. It's an emphatic yes for me. What have you really done with Derek Carr? I get he's a decent quarterback, not a franchise quarterback, maybe not a bad quarterback, somewhere in the middle. If you're gonna do a quarterback rankings, he might fall 16th or maybe worse. I don't know, Fernando. But let me know in the comments if the Saints should move on. I think they should blow it up, go find the franchise quarterback in the draft, and then call it a day. But I think Derek Carr's days are numbered in New Orleans. New Orleans. There you go.
You know what my question would be? If I ever got to ask Mahomes, I'd ask him, have you ever bitten your tongue? Because when he throws a football, he does this. So I wonder if he's ever just bitten the shit out of his tongue or something when he's doing. Sorry, I was just watching him right now, and I'm
maybe that's why he talks a little funny.
Yeah. Angel Dan is at practice. He has a big playoff game on Friday, so Dan is focused
playoffs.
on that.
Dan's team made it to the playoffs.
A lot of people are not happy that Dan made it to the playoffs.
Oh, I gotta hear about this drama whenever I can.
Yeah. So it's definitely been
they just allow any team now into the playoffs. Sorry, no offense.
Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs. You kidding me?
Oh wow, we got new sound effects. That's awesome
perfect.
Right there.
Jim
all right. Let's go with the intro.
Compas on the beat. Let's get it. Let's go.
Yeah. So we're Compas.
Yeah, we are.
There you go. Hey.
There you go. Okay, all right. We got proof right there.
Some guy that seems like he's asleep. Need you to wake up, Gilbert. There's a lot of energy.
Come on, Gilbert. Let's go.
Come on. Dan and Dago is at Moe's.
I'll show you. I got it right.
Okay, that's it. You guys, I am done with mine, but that's couldn't get better than a 2026 6th-round pick swap for a 7-rounder. So
freaking love you, Chad.
Hey, dude. Cool, man.
Compas on the beat, man. Derwin James signing off, man. Watch Compas on the beat, man.
Welcome to Compas on the Beat, aka Lunes Live. I am Fernando Ramirez. I cover the Chargers for the Sporting Tribune. With me, as always, my co-host, my tag team partner, Gilbert Manzano, covers the NFL for Sports Illustrated. What's up, bro?
What's up, bro? Seeing Chad Ochocinco Johnson, or I guess just Ochocinco, his name is, on in the intro there. I don't know if you caught. I don't know if it was him or maybe it was Ryan Clark, but somebody dressed up as Bill Belichick.
It was Ryan Clark.
Okay, well, and then Ocho was who? Was he Chris Long?
I think so. White face.
Yeah, there you go. So that was pretty funny. They went with the white face, but not with the
Bill
other
Belichick, or him dressed like Bill Belichick. He looked like a third white chick from the movie White Chick.
Yeah, that's definitely it. Really freaked me out.
It was really good.
I like that Chris Long was trying to be Ochocinco with the grill and with the bald cap there. He tried his best and then he pulled it off.
Let me ask you a question about the intro. Is Cam Akers is back on the Vikings, right?
Yeah, he got a carry last week. Yeah, I saw that.
He got traded from the Rams to the Vikings, got released to the Texans, and then he got traded back to the Vikings.
Yeah, he got traded in back-to-back years to Minnesota, who won again.
That is crazy.
Yeah, I was hoping for a third straight lawsuit. Show a little better.
You know what's funny? Exactly. You know what's funny? I'm watching the game. with Dan. And he's like, it just makes me laugh. And I was like, what? He's like, every single time the Vikings lose or win, I just get a big smile on my face. I can't help it, and I just start laughing.
That was probably one of the worst games I've seen this season, by the way. So don't.
Oh,
Don't
that was well.
feel
Why do you
proud.
think they did? Why do you think what? Why do you think they did what they did?
Oh,
with the
yeah.
Colts and Jets. They're like, no, get this
Yeah,
game out of
it's
here.
like-
Let's put the Chargers and Bengals in there, which is obviously Burrow against Herbert.
Mhm.
Two teams kind of headed in different and weird directions. Like the Chargers are kind of stacking together some wins. The Bengals are kind of they need to save their season, so we'll see what happens there. Are you going to be going to that game? That's going to be an interesting.
I already forgot when is it anyways, but it's Sunday Night Football.
Not this Sunday, next Sunday night.
So it was like November, I forget. But no, anyways, because it's Sunday Night Football, it still qualifies as Sunday. I can't do Sunday Night Football. If it's Monday or Thursday, I will be there. I will be there Monday night for Rams Dolphins. That's a Monday. And then I'll definitely be there for the Harbaugh Bowl. That's a Monday Night Football game. I'm not doing no Sunday night game. Like
that wasn't what you originally said. You said if there's any primetime games,
no, I
will show up. That's what I heard.
Mondays or Thursday. I can't find a window for me to drive down to SoFi without doing my work unless I wake up freaking early as hell.
There you go.
Which is hard.
Eric and I are going to be up there early.
Yeah, 5 in the morning, whatever, 6 in the morning.
No, that game. I was talking about it with Eric on Friday. Dan, Eric, and I hung out and I was like, hey, if it's Sunday night, what do you want to do? He's like, I don't know, leave our place about 10. I was like, yeah, that sounds perfect to me. So we'll probably get there right before the 1 o'clock game starts.
The Rams also have a Sunday night game against the Eagles, but it's too difficult. But you never know.
Oh, that one would be fun, especially because you could tell your boy Nick, I'm behind you. I've been looking out for you when Dan and Dago or other people have been talking smack about you.
Even though I couldn't really defend him this week when he almost blew it to the Jaguars, I was rooting for the Jaguars because I freaking picked them and they blew it.
I couldn't believe. Oh, don't worry. What's up? Bolts went through your picks on Sunday after the game. So
I know you guys did, and you hopefully have fun with the way I have fun with the picks. And I really was invested in those damn Jaguars.
Dan does not let me just choose one game. He makes me go through all the games that you picked, and he obviously he goes through every single one of them. And yeah, so we go through.
I got the Panthers right to beat the Saints, though, by the way, and a little upset alert there for me.
No. The best upset was mine.
Oh, you got the freaking Jets, yeah.
The Jets beating the Texans. That one was a good one.
That's a good one.
Athir, I think, said it a little while ago. Fraud alert! I'm smelling some fraud alert when it comes to those.
My Texans? Oh, I'm ready to jump ship. Yeah, it's a
call him Jack Sparrow because he is jumping ship.
Halfway point of the season. Ask me again for Super Bowl contenders, and it won't be the Texans.
Wow, that is interesting. All right, let's get into all this. Gilbert, before Sunday's game, I wrote and I even said it on WhatsApp Bolts. If the Chargers won this game, I'd be very impressed. Especially because coming into the game, there was a lot of smoke around Jameis Winston, a lot about that team. Hey, maybe they can go on a run now that Deshaun Watson is gone. They beat the Baltimore Ravens the week prior. He had 330. He threw for 334. He had 3 touchdowns. The offense looked brand new. The defense looked like they were playing tough as well. And the Chargers go in there and they dominate the Browns 27-10. Gilbert, what was your impression of that game?
Well, first of all, I'm sure Dan was doing a victory dance when he saw that I picked the Browns for the week. The curse there lives on for him. He was so excited. I'm sure he was. And shout out to Chargers fans. I did that on purpose. Reverse jinx right there, or reverse curse to have the Browns, who put up a pathetic effort. By the way, I can't believe I did that. In all seriousness, but. One thing I am a little surprised about, Fernando. I'm gonna praise the crap out of the Chargers, but I am surprised how the other national people are also praising the Chargers. I'm like, no one's gonna give them credit because they played a terrible Browns team. And then I look around today, like everybody's doing it. I'm like, crap. I guess I wasn't the only one because I pretty much wrote here like maybe it's a hot take, but it's time to stop overlooking Jesse Minter's defense. Like I get it. Maybe the lack of opponents. Is hurting him a little bit, but that's 8 games now of allowing 12.6 points per game. So that's a big enough sample size. They did it to the Cardinals. They did it to the Chiefs. That's 2 games. And then with the Steelers, even to a point, the Steelers weren't doing much. Like 20 points, right, Fernando? So that defense is legit. Now the other problem okay, when will you see the progress with Justin Herbert, and Greg Roman and the wide receivers? And we're seeing that too now. And I'll give you credit here, Fernando. And you said it maybe a couple of weeks ago when I was starting to come around on the Chargers a little bit. And as everybody knows here, I'm a little more reserved when it comes to me giving praise to the Chargers. But you said it, Fernando. You said uh, teams might not want to face this team in the playoffs. And I'm like, after watching that Browns game, I'm like, Fernando was right. You got a dominant defense, a good running game, a good quarterback, and a very good coach in Jim Harbaugh. So, maybe I still believe in the 2-year plan for Jim Harbaugh, but now I'm getting to a point, Fernando, where this first year for Jim Harbaugh, they could maybe win a playoff game. They could definitely be dangerous. And I get it. They're from LA. They like the sunny weather, but I wouldn't count out this team going to Buffalo in the cold.
Yeah, no.
Talking about going back to Pittsburgh in the cold. They know how to run the freaking football. They know how to play smash mouth football. And everybody was complaining about Greg Roman and not being able to use Justin Herbert. Well, he's probably been one of the best quarterbacks of the past month. He only has one interception,
Two total turnovers.
And in the past 4 games, he's averaging for like 286 passing yards. Doing great in terms of a touchdown interception ratio. Quentin Johnson stepping up, Lam McConkey stepping up here. So J.K. Dobbins is doing good again. So you have all the recipes to be a dangerous playoff team. Again, it's tough to compare them to the Ravens and the Chiefs there. But like you mentioned, Fernando, I keep going back to it. You're right. This team could be very dangerous come December and January. And I want to see them in a cold game, Fernando. I want to see Jim Harbaugh, physical smash mouth football in a cold game in December. Maybe we can look at the schedule later on. But once I see that, I could check it off the box too.
At Kansas City, week December 7th or December 8th, one of those. And they go to New England December 28th.
Okay.
So you'll see a little bit of that.
Football very quick in year 1.
Now, I'll tell you one thing. Well, I'll go with what you're saying about the defense. I think this defense is very good. I think and I know people were saying, well, they haven't played anybody. Well, they haven't. Dude, it doesn't matter. You have to play who's in front of you, and they're playing and they're doing well. They've done what? There's no sample. It's not like a small sample size. They've done it to every single team
half a year.
This year. The only game that got away from them was the Steelers game, and that was they only scored 20 points. That's what's remarkable about this. Now, can they keep it up? I think so, but like I was telling Dan yesterday, the offense needs to be more consistent. And that is my biggest concern right now about this team is that there was a point yesterday, right around the end of the third quarter, they turned to the defense, and that was on the sideline, like going through stuff. Denzel Perryman looked like he was breathing and breathing for air. And they need to be able to move the ball consistently. And that's what I wrote about. In the second half, Justin Herbert threw for 32 yards. And they had, off of the blocked field goal, they had a good run by J.K. Dobbins, who, by the way, it's starting to look better and better. He's over 600 yards, and I think he's at 4 or 5 touchdowns. So it's looking good. No, I think he has more, but it's looking good for me. But the thing is, they need consistency. And yes, they're going to get guys back. DJ Chark is coming. Who knows when? But Gus Edwards is coming as well. The only thing is, I would still make a trade. They have to go get something. And I wrote, you remember Duke Manyweather?
Yeah, the online coach. Yeah.
Today, he put out a good point on Twitter. Now that the Saints are in a fire sale, go get Eric McCoy, their center. Yes, they just gave him a 5-year, $60 million extension. But you have to pay a center whatever they want. And I know Bozeman is a good guy, and everybody is hyped up about what he did with Herbert. But him and Zion Johnson are a lot of the problem of why they can't run the ball in between the guards, in between the tackles, in between the center. And that's where all the pressure is coming towards Justin Herbert, is through the middle. You could go get an Eric McCoy and plug him in there as your center. I know it's a big ask to get a player like this, but the Saints are desperate. They have $60 million in cap. Whatever GM, I don't know if they're going to bring in a new GM or not, but whatever head coach comes in here, they're going to have $60 million over the cap. I would go and ask for Eric McCoy, bring him in at center, and I'd try and do something like that. or go get Brandon Sheriff from the
I was gonna
Jaguars
say that. That's
and plug
perfect.
him in
Easier.
at left guard. Whichever, and he's a free agent after this year. Whichever one, but they need to fix this offensive line.
Yeah,
These
to me,
guys are not good.
yeah,
The front three.
yeah. I know there's issues on in terms of the roster. Like, if you rather have better defensive backs there, but with the way Jesse Minster is coaching, like, I'm okay with whatever they're putting out there. Like, that's a good coach right there. Just plug and play, follow the scheme, play fast, make turnovers, make life miserable for the offense. I'm okay with that. So I'm with you, Fernando. Make everything for the next 24 hours. The focus is getting an offensive lineman to help out the interior. You're set with Joe Alt. You're set with Rashawn Slater. And yeah, I'm kind of like kicking myself because a couple weeks ago I said it's more of a 2-year plan, but now, like, get a little more aggressive. You could definitely be a team in the mix to be the Final Four in the AFC. It's wide open, and like I mentioned, my Texans are a fraud. The Ravens keep losing to terrible teams like the Browns and the Raiders. Can we really trust them? I'm not really high on the Bills. They had a pretty close game against the Dolphins. Obviously, I'm very high on the Chiefs. We'll watch the Chiefs tonight for Monday Night Football, but
No, we're not.
well, yeah, it's a Buccaneers, so it'll probably be 8-0. But
If it was Mike Evans and all those guys on there, I'd be like, all right, cool.
maybe
Like
even
right
then.
now, Adam Schefter just put is right here. Zadarius Smith, Adam Thielen, Darius Slayton, Mike Williams, Aziz Ojolari, Calais Campbell, and Marshawn Lynch are the main players that he's hearing that could be moved.
You said Marshawn Lynch?
Marshawn Lattimore. I apologize.
Yeah.
Man, if I'm the Chargers, Calais Campbell would look beautiful
Oh, yeah.
on my defensive line. Out of those receivers, I'm gonna probably surprise some people. I'd rather go get Darius Slayton than Mike Williams.
He's been the
I'm
leading
being completely
receiver
honest.
on paper, at least, for the Giants there.
And he
So,
had two big games against the Steelers, and I think it was the Seahawks. So two good defenses, and he did well against them, to be honest. By the way, I think from Ireland, right? That's our buddy from Ireland.
there goes Marshawn Lynch. All good things there. Shout out to you.
Oh my God, where was that? This from Ireland. You're from Ireland.
Yeah.
Okay. That was another thing that I noticed yesterday. Eli Apple was playing a lot, but you didn't notice him.
Plug and play.
Exactly.
Minter,
Like,
man.
it's incredible the way this system right now. The Charger fans are really excited because they have two young cornerbacks that they're thinking, crap, if we end up losing one of these guys, they could be our corners for years to come. Now, I did write as another trade candidate, Greg Newsome in the slot with these guys would be really good, especially when you play a team like Kansas City, who they're still saying could add another receiver to this. The more corners you can get, yes, but I do think that it. By the way, going back to the Asante Samuel, somebody asked about Asante Samuel Jr. Jim said on Friday, or was it Wednesday? Kind of went back and forth with Pop over this. It was Wednesday. He was very he's like, oh, it's going to be a team decision, a player decision, and a family decision on when he comes back. I'm like, ooh, that sounds like he might be out a little bit longer than what everybody anticipated. So, and Christian Fulton's banged up too. So I don't know. If I'm the Chargers, I would I would definitely
still
look
stopping offenses and keeping them to 17 points or less. So
I know, but you're about to face the
Bengals.
You're about to go Bengals, Ravens.
That's gonna be
Falcons, Chiefs, and Tampa Bay. And I bet you by that point, Tampa Bay is going to be healthy for that game.
Wait, is the Bengals one already next week? Or is that
Bengals one is next Sunday. Not this Sunday is the Titans. Next Sunday is the Bengals game.
No, I think the Titans. Okay, gotcha. Titans. And
Bengals is
Okay, that's a W, and then we'll really find out about these Chargers with the Bengals, Ravens, and Falcons. So yeah, it's a good time. They're in a good place here at the halfway point of the season.
Yeah, no, and again, I still think that they need to work on some things. But yeah, like you said, don't mortgage the future to win right now. I get that, but if you can get guys who are on 1 year like they could even do more than one. They could go get a Darius Slayton and a Brandon Sheriff from the Jaguars, do 2 moves, do stuff like that. I mean, we'll see what happens, but I think they might be, because Dan asked me, and I think they're going to be pretty active in the trade deadline. What do you think? Do you think they'll make a move or no?
The Chargers?
Yeah,
I think so. And I just saw the Cardinals make a move. They're a team that nobody.
That was a good one.
So they made a move for an edge rusher. So I think if you're in a good spot right now, why not do it? There's so many I'm really hoping for a busy trade deadline. I know it's not like baseball or NBA, but like there's like 8 or 9 teams with 2 wins or less. So those teams look in the mirror and start wheeling and dealing. So all these contenders will get some players here. Should be hopefully it's a fun deadline tomorrow.
If my brother, but listen to my brother, do not trade with the Chiefs. That's what he
obviously, yeah,
that's what he wants.
Right.
But no, but I completely agree. And I read what you wrote yesterday, and you are right. Like they get in the playoffs, it's gonna be one of those teams where you're like crap because of what Hayden, and I go back to this because it was months ago, but Hayden Hurst said it. When it gets down to the fourth quarter, you're like, crap, we still have another quarter to play against these guys. And remember, the Chargers are only 7 or 9 games into this, or 7 games. What are they? 5 and 3. They're 8 games into this. It's still, I mean, when they get guys back, they could get better. If they make trades, they could get better. So that's definitely going to be interesting there.
Smash mouth football.
Exactly. Real quick. I love it. I have the clip for you on that. SI reporter. Oh my god!
You're welcome, everybody, for the Browns. Hey, I'm not the only one.
Oh, dude! What a dude!
Wow, there was 3 of us.
Dan, his picks. Look at this. He picked the.
Oh my!
He picked the
Curse.
He picked the Patriots.
He cursed
Freaking
me.
Patriots, man.
And he picked the Jaguars, and the Jaguars are down, and the Bears are down right now as well.
Good God. Dude, we're going to have a freaking, what's it called? A manhunt for Gilberto. They're going to go capture him, take away all his electronics so he can't make any picks that's going to
look at the last 4, Dan. I feel like I'm talking to Dan right now. Me and Dan are talking right now. Look at the last 4, Dan. Jesus.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, my God. He always tells me, pull him up. I want to see him. I want to see him. I'm like, all right.
Well, so, maybe no mystery this week, but yeah.
Those are amazing. Going now to the other. I mean, I thought this game was electric. To say a little. It started off a little boring, but then towards the end, it really caught some juice. By the way, this game was not over till 5:05 local time. So. It went right into the Monday or Sunday night football game. The Los Angeles Rams win 26-20 over the Seattle Seahawks. Geno Smith 21-34, 363, 3 touchdowns, 3 picks. Matthew Stafford 25-44, 298, 2 touchdowns. Puka Nacua with a BS slap got kicked out of the game. I couldn't believe that one, but other than that, Gilbert, exciting. It goes into overtime. It looked like the Seahawks were going to win that game, and then boom, turn it around, and the Rams end up winning. What was your thoughts about this game?
I definitely focus on the defense here, and the defense, took a lot of hits early on. First year with Chris Shula, first year without Aaron Donald, and I'm like, linebacker group is probably the best. I mean, sorry, the worst. The best of the worst. Worst group in the NFL. The secondary was very bad. We remember the game to Marvin Harrison Jr., Jawan Jennings, Jameson Williams, and so on. And Jackson Smith and Jigba went off on them too in Seattle. But the difference now, Fernando, they're making game-changing plays. They're making game-changing plays that steal the momentum for the Rams. That rookie Cam Kinchins, the safety out of Miami, 2 interceptions and a pick 6 for 103 yards. That definitely changed the momentum in the fourth quarter. And then that front, defensive front that they invested so many draft picks the last 2 years. 5 out of the 7 sacks that they got yesterday were from those players: Kobe Turner, Byron Young, Jared Verse, Braden Fisk. Braden Fisk got 2 sacks. Remember, they traded for him in the second round, gave up a second round pick for the future. He's starting to be the real deal right there. So when you got a front like that, and you're making plays in the secondary, you're always going to have a chance there. And we already know what this team could do with Stafford and Puka and Cooper Kupp. But I think that defense right there, Fernando, and you're going to ask me later on about the NFC West, but I think that defense, if they keep improving, they're going to have a strong chance to beat the Cardinals, beat the 49ers in the NFC West. Your Seahawks, man, I don't like them. I think they're frauds.
Yeah, I'm like kind of.
But they're a dangerous team because Geno Smith gets hot in a hurry, but then he also gets very bad in a hurry. So, but other than that, it's going to be a fun ride here. And I think that defense, man, I definitely, it gets to a point, Fernando, if that defense is able to be consistent, maybe if they get in, it might be a problem because of Stafford and Sean McVay.
Stafford had some throws yesterday where I'm like, yeah, this is reminding you of how good he is. Brett is right here. He says Rams secondary is very questionable.
Yeah.
That is they're kind of focusing on, hey, let's get home with our pass rushers, disrupt it, and then they can be game changers.
They're making picks like they did yesterday. It's going to
Yeah.
help out and balance out.
Do you think Tre'Davious White gets moved before tomorrow?
I think so. They've been very active about getting
He's
him
going
out
to
of
be a
here.
Chief.
And a lot of teams need a lot of cornerbacks, but yeah, maybe.
He's going to be a Chief. I definitely think so.
Maybe the Chargers take him.
I'd be really surprised.
he wasn't good at all.
No, with the Rams he hasn't been good, but with the Bills,
terrible.
damn, he used to be really, really good.
They also rushed him to the field too from an injury.
By the way, this whole news about DK Metcalf could possibly get traded, I'm like, no, I was kind of, but I'm like, no, I don't think they'd do that.
I wouldn't trade him. I think he's very good.
But that would be a trade that I'm sure the Chargers and Chargers fans would want right away, getting a DK Metcalf in there with Herbert and all these guys. Going back to the Rams, the grit that they showed yesterday was very impressive because they really went back and forth and with the Seahawks. And I thought at the end of the game, they were really kind of hunkered down. They could have made excuses and say, oh, we don't have our guy in Puka Nacua, but they decided to stay with it. Cooper Kupp was impressive. 11 catches, 104 yards. I mean, and it was crazy because at one point, Seattle was up 13-3. The Rams kind of came back.
Yeah.
Rams took the lead after that interception by Gino, how many times were they in the red zone and they turned the ball over? It was three or four times.
Yeah, we got the 2 picks from the rookie there. They were both in the red zone too.
Yeah, and it's just that's the reason why when they gave Geno Smith that contract, I get it. They can have an out soon. You need to go. You cannot stop delaying going and getting a quarterback. Like maybe that's where Derek Carr goes next, but I don't know. I just they have to do something because Geno Smith is not the answer, and I know people like him and he's a serviceable backup. I don't think he's a starter, if I can be completely honest. I just didn't like the way he played down. I know he got them to tie the game up with that Jackson Smith and Jigba touchdown, but the hot and cold, there's no consistency there. That's kind of the issue there. But isn't it crazy that on the same day that Quentin Johnson goes off, so does Say Flowers and so does Jackson Smith and Jigba? Like all three of those guys.
Oh yeah, from 2023.
But yeah, they were all in the same draft class. They were all picked like directly right in a row, I think. So yeah, it just they need to do something. They need to change it up.
Let me ask you this, Fernando, because I was writing about this for tomorrow, and I was trying to find like a place to rank Derek Carr, and I'm like, I'd rather have Kirk Cousins, and I think I'd rather have Geno Smith than Derek Carr. Are we in agreement here?
Yeah, I'd probably rather have
but like it goes Cousins, Geno, and then Carr, and it feels
because Carr's fake. You can totally tell. Like
I'm not about a football player, but yeah.
They were asking him about Michael Thomas, and instead of being real, he goes back to his political side of it.
I'm
He's like,
for this guy here, pretty much.
Yeah, I'm gonna pray for him. He's my guy. He's this. No, be honest. Be like, well, I'm still in the NFL. That guy isn't, or say something. But then there was that video. It looked a little staged. Cameron Jordan didn't want to go into the locker room. Derek Carr runs after him and trying to bring him back in. So I don't know. I'm just not buying any of this stuff that Derek Carr sells, and I feel like that kind of translates onto the field. So
somebody who covers the Saints wrote a report that people in the Saints locker room got annoyed with all the cliche and the messages and the quotes from Dennis Allen. I started thinking Derek Carr's the same way. He probably has a bunch of dumb, boring sayings that they probably get tired of. So,
oh yeah. Well, maybe. I mean, Gilbert, you remember we heard Dennis Allen's press conference during what's it called? During training camp. And what did you were you impressed?
Dennis Allen?
Yeah.
Not really, but like as you guys know, I've been very low on Dennis Allen since last year. So
and I get it, but I mean, like you listen to his talk and you're like,
it's a lot of coach speaking. But when people get tired of that, when results are not happening, like obviously, Jim Harbaugh to an extent is coach speak, but he has great results, so you don't give a crap, and he actually has a kind of genuine way of doing it. So sometimes it gets repetitive and you get tired of it. So,
I mean, let's be honest. At one point, the players are going to get tired of the Jim Harbaugh speak, especially if they don't win a championship.
As long as you win, nobody cares.
Yeah, exactly. So that's just the way this goes. But I just do the Rams make a move?
I would think so. I will hope so, at least for a
What do they
linebacker.
need?
And definitely a linebacker. And I mentioned the Mario Davis from the Saints. Could be a good addition there. Victor mentioned Robert Spillane from the Raiders being an option. So there's linebackers out there. They need a lot of help there. And
You should go get Jack Jones.
yeah, he could be another option too. Maybe with Sean McVay, he does better. He got an interception yesterday too, so
Pick six,
maybe
no?
it's I don't think so, but or maybe it
Yeah.
was. I don't remember. That game was pretty terrible for me to keep an eye on. But yeah, definitely get a corner. Maybe make two moves. Get a corner and get a linebacker because they're in that race right there. And we're gonna talk about it soon about the NFC West.
Geez, if you ask me right now, who did the Raiders play yesterday? Cincinnati.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
got blown out there, 41-20 something.
What was worse, that one or the Broncos and the
Broncos?
Ravens?
I think it was the Broncos. That was like 41-10, but they were both pathetic. It was terrible.
Yeah. I think I had the Rams making the playoffs. I think they're going to be good. I think they're going to be okay. I think they'll make the playoffs. I think they have offensive weapons. Again, I agree with you. I think they still need to make a move and bring something in to kind of jumps. They don't have to go with the FM picks. Like you can probably do a third or a fourth rounder for something.
Oh yeah.
Brett said Marshawn Lattimore, but I don't know. I don't know.
Might be a little expensive. I don't know, maybe second or third
Yeah, I
round pick.
think
But when you have
Lattimore might
salary
be
cap
too
issues,
expensive.
go ahead and get whatever you can.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Let us go with our NFL week 9 take. Why did I say 3? Week 9 takeaways. Gilbert, why don't you start us off?
Yeah, since we're talking a lot about head coaches being fired, I can't decide if there's going to be a wave of head coaches being fired or will teams be patient and let them, go through the motions and finish the season here. And the one that has probably the hottest seat right now is definitely Antonio Pierce. And some people are saying, well, it's his first year being the head coach, but there's no patience there, especially when you got a new ownership group and Tom Brady and Richard Seymour, especially how poorly he's done as just being a coach and late game situations, being too conservative. You're supposed to be a defensive minded coach, and the defense went to crap. There you go.
No,
41 points to the Bengals. I get the Bengals are good, but this team couldn't score points on the Giants. They couldn't score points on the Eagles. Where he come the Raiders to make it all right for the Bengals and Joe Burrow. The Bengals are so annoying, but they got their day there with the Raiders. But nothing is going well, and now you're firing coaches. That's probably the last strike you have to make it work. If the offense doesn't improve, Fernando, who else are you going to blame? AP, it's going to be you. So you're going to be on the way out. I don't even know if the GM Tom Telesco wants Antonio Pierce. It kind of felt like Mark Davis forced us. We're okay. No Champ Kelly, but we'll keep Pierce and we'll bring in Tom Telesco. And what the hell, you never know. So he probably has the hottest seat right now. I want to say maybe either Doug Peterson or Matt Eberflus are probably 2 and 3. But the Khan family vouched for Doug Peterson publicly like a month ago. Maybe that changes there. But Matt Eberflus, I think he gets a chance because they haven't played a divisional opponent just yet. They probably want to see him prove himself against a division. You get the Packers twice, the Vikings twice, and you get the Lions twice. That might be 6 losses right there, Fernando. So
I don't think they're going to win any of those games.
So they might just say, "F, let's see what you got," and then after that, they'll for sure know if this guy's a coach or not. So they might go through that because, even if they find a way to get in with an interim head coach, they're not going to do anything. The Bears they're pretenders to me. I picked them, I get it, but I don't care. I've seen enough about the Bears. That was a total egg they laid in Arizona. My Cardinals, by the way, who destroyed them. It wasn't even a competition, by the way. So Eberflus would be number 2. Then Peterson. I want to say Mike McCarthy too, but Jerry Jones is over here talking about being we're going to be buyers at the deadline. We're not going to be sellers. I'm like, what are you talking about? Your quarterback is hurt. Your coach is breaking tablets. Your defense is terrible. Your receivers hurt. Like, buyers at the deadline. What do you do? You're delusional, Jerry Jones. So I get it. He thinks like a businessman. He wants to be relevant. He wants to have a winning product or at least a competitive product that you could talk about. He doesn't care about winning. And so I think Mike McCarthy I think all these coaches get fired at the end of the season. But if you're going to ask me about one that gets fired in season, it could either be Peterson or Antonio Pierce. You also have like Brian Dable. Who else is out there? So, but yeah, a lot of options.
Yeah, I think
Freaking Jorge.
Did you see that?
Yeah. He has a nice pictures of himself. Okay, where's your great picture of yourself hanging out and lounging out in the world? How about that one?
I agree with you with all that. All those head coaches are going to be fired. Eberflus, like here's a perfect here's a video for your to just to even make your point. DJ Moore, we all know him, right? We know how important he is. Just got a new contract and everything with the Bears. Listen to this.
Wonder from the outside, has Matt Eberflus lost his football team? So I'll ask you, has Matt Eberflus lost his football team?
I want to say no. The message yesterday was that we know we 4-4 now. It's just like being 0-0, but you just gotta go out there and start stacking wins how we did, and that's the best thing you can do is win, and then let the chips fall how they fall after we do so.
Kind of a safe answer there, but not really.
No, but
not really.
I won't
supportive.
say has Matt Eberflus lost this football team. I won't say no, is what DJ Moore said.
Yeah, you could tell. It's obviously you can't say, oh yeah, he's definitely has support in the locker room, but and he's been very vocal too. He didn't like the whole Justin Fields, Caleb Williams shift there, but I think the way they laid an egg defensively in Arizona really tells me they're losing control, especially after the Hail Mary. And then the way Tyreek Stevenson took the bench, and did you hear that report from Jake Glazer that he heard he's going to get benched, and then he just walks off the practice field all pissed off? I'm like, what are you doing, the guy?
Courtney Cronin came out and said that and debunked the Jake
true?
Glazer show. Well, she said that he was getting treatment or something. So
No,
I don't
okay.
know if that was kind of like a PR thing or not, but
Well, Glazer said people did not like it in the facility, so that they could tell. There's a lot of drama going on there.
I can tell you one person that I know. I probably could guess who didn't like it. I bet you Keenan Allen was like, "What the hell is this? Like, are we serious?" Because Keenan is a no nonsense kind of guy.
They might look back at this stretch here, these 2 games, Fernando, and say like, if they miss the playoffs by a couple games, I don't think so. They're probably gonna miss it by 4 with that schedule. But if they lose by 2, I'm like, they could have beaten the Cardinals. They could have beaten a hobbled Jaden Daniels with broken ribs if they played defense, but they couldn't do it.
Okay, just spoke to a source with the Bears, can provide context on what he said. Bears coaches and executives arrived at a decision to not start Stevenson on Tuesday and relayed that to the corner before practice, which was a walkthrough. I'm told Stevenson did leave practice after the stretching period to gather himself after learning of his demotion from the starting lineup, but returned to practice after a couple of minutes inside the locker room and came out for the team's periods during the walkthrough. Yeah.
Gather himself. Get out of here.
Yeah, while Stevenson's teammates have expressed frustration over how things went down in Washington, there wasn't anything confrontational due to the cornerback leaving the walkthrough before returning. So
I don't care about gathering anything. Like you should expect a benching, and he got lucky the players got hurt and he came into the field. But Eberflus had to do something, man, because that was just one of the worst mistakes I've ever seen.
Did you see what happened on Sunday with DJ Moore?
No, but I think I might have.
There's a play. I can't put it out here because it's Fox will probably ding me for it. There's a play where what's his name? Caleb Williams is scrambling around. DJ kind of runs towards the sideline. He doesn't get the ball and he just walks off and goes straight to the bench. And Caleb goes through the other side, and I think he gets it incomplete or something. But somebody goes, "Is this real?" Like he just walked off during the play. He walks off and goes to the sideline. Like that's
And then they left Caleb Williams in the game the whole time, and he got hurt at the end. But I think he's okay. But dumb mistakes like that, man.
But they're not a good football team, and I get it. It's the offensive line. I think it's a little bit of everything. It's the offensive line,
bad coaching.
It's the bad head coaching, bad offensive coordinating, and I remember Eric Williams told us, Shane Waldron, be careful with him because he's not. There's a reason why he's not in Seattle anymore. And then lastly, I think it's also Caleb Williams. I don't know. I'm not Caleb Williams. I know he makes marvelous plays.
He wasn't very good.
That's the difference between good head coaching and a whatever coach. And I'm not trying to take a shot at Eberflus. Patrick Mahomes, they were comparing Patrick Mahomes' college tape to Caleb Williams, and there was a lot of flashiness. What Andy Reid taught Patrick Mahomes was how to not settle for just going for the big play underneath. Check down is okay. Don't worry. Going underneath your tight end, it's okay. Doing stuff like that. Caleb isn't like that. Caleb's looking for the home run, and that's the problem when it comes to the kind of coaching. Chicago easily, and I'm not talking about going and getting Jim Harbaugh. I'm just saying in general. Chicago could have cleaned house, having the first overall pick. They could have cleaned house and gotten ready for a new era in football. Now you've screwed up this kid. Yeah, he's had a terrible offensive line. He doesn't have a good offensive line, and he has bad coaching. And now next year he's gonna have to listen to a whole new coach that comes in, and he's kind of what if he shuts the guy out? I don't know. I just think they hampered him.
Yeah, and I just realized that from our winners and losers, I probably should have made Cliff Kingsbury the winner of the week because he avoided that Raiders job, and now he's coaching Jaden Daniels, a rookie of the year. And maybe the Bears should have taken Jaden Daniels over Caleb Williams, but everybody goes in the right situation, and it just worked out for Cliff and Jaden.
What if Cliff gets back into a head coaching job?
Yeah, that's
because
problem,
of Caleb.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe he goes. He coaches Caleb Williams as the Chicago Bears next year.
Yeah, like
that's
what
interesting.
What if because of how well he's doing right now with Jaden Daniels, they're like, oh yeah, you know what?
He's gonna get interviews for sure,
and that's gonna be a little bit dangerous because he was a good.
He's a better coordinator.
Yeah. So I don't know. All right, going to mine. Raiders and Saints. Blow it up,
please.
You need to. That's it. Like. And I get it, and I get why. Like I would have fired Antonio Pierce last night. Why are you just gonna fire the offensive coordinator? I would have fired Antonio Pierce, and then I would start looking and my bad. Sorry, I got distracted. I think the Raiders need to if the Lions come calling. Why wouldn't you let go of Max Crosby and start over? Why wouldn't you let go of Jack Jones? Some of these other guys that are there. Jacoby Myers. I bet you the Texans could use Jacoby Myers right now. I know he has a big contract, but I would do that. The Saints, you could like I said a little while ago, Eric McCoy to the Chargers would be a good addition as a center. I would definitely go that way. The Saints have over $60 million in cap. Tyrann Mathieu, do him a favor. Go send him to a contender. Cam Jordan, tell him, hey, you've done a great job for us. Go somewhere and try and win a ring. You deserve one. Guys like those, go get those guys.
Mario Davis,
Mario Davis. Yeah. All those guys. Hell, even Alvin Kamara, I'd be like, hey, do you want to leave? Or
you got a new contract, but I still would trade him.
But you can free up cap. You can free up cap. You can get yourself in a new, next year you could be different. You're going to get a new head coach. By the way, I think I saw a beat reporter say that Aaron Glenn is the name that they're hearing.
Yeah, he's got ties
for the New Orleans Saints. So, by the way, remember, and I mean, a friend of the show and everything, but I remember they were saying either Anthony Lynn or Aaron Glenn is going to get fired from the Detroit Lions. And he decided to stick. Dan Campbell decided to stick with Aaron Glenn and let go of Anthony Lynn. So that's interesting. Jorge, I would go Brandon Sheriff just off of the contract, but Eric McCoy because that could be a center for the next 5 years. So that's how I would go. Charlie, I do believe that the Chargers will make a trade. I acknowledge you. Oh wow, is that a wrestling fan? Because I'm all about that. But yeah, Gilbert, that's just me. The Saints and the Raiders need to blow it up. Stop. And I saw a colleague of yours tweet out, is it time to rebuild or reload for the Raiders? A colleague that every
reload
Thursday and Monday he's at those night games. But they need to blow. Stop talking about a rebuild. There's no way you can rebuild. You now. I'll tell you one thing. Their offensive line is it's good. They're built. They have a good offensive line. They're building something there. But I just feel like they need to free up some cap for all that stuff. So yeah. I'm definitely
Pretty much any team
Oh,
with
yeah.
2 wins right now, Victor. Sorry, Fernando. I saw I was reading the comment. Yeah, should definitely do a bunch of trades. That's it. Even the Dolphins, who were kind of a feisty 2-win team, get rid of Javon Holland. The Giants are a 2-win team. Get rid of some players. The Patriots are a 2-win team. The Jaguars are a 2-win team. Please move on. I don't want to see you guys anymore.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. All right, let's go around the NFL. Gilbert, the Cardinals cruise past the Bears 29-19. I know we got into it a little bit. Let me ask you real quick, and jumping back on the Chargers, does this give you more of an indication of why Eberflus needs to be fired? Like, his defense gave up 29 to that offense when the Chargers were only were able to get him for only 17. Like, because I mean, he's gonna say, well, my defense, my this, my that. Do you feel like that was another indication? Because it looked like Kyler Murray was all over the place.
And then even as a runner, yeah, but even as the passing attack, that was absent. Trey McBride and Marvin Harrison Jr. didn't do anything.
Yeah.
They had that one long run from the backup running back. I'm already blanking on his name. And then that was before halftime. That was just a brutal thing. James Conner doing what he always does. I think they rushed for like 212 yards on this Bears defense, and they were a good run defense last year. So when Kyler Murray and Trey McBride and Marvin Harrison Jr. don't really do much, and they score 29 points, that's a problem for the Bears there. So, yeah, that was supposed to be a close game, a pick 'em, and it was a total domination and a blowout. And I'll answer the question here: are the Cardinals the best team in the NFC West? I say yeah, Fernando, because I even want to make a case for Jonathan Gannon to be Coach of the Year, because a year ago people were saying, "Oh, they're going to tank. These Cardinals are terrible. They should tank for Caleb Williams and get Kyler Murray out of town." I'm like, at this point, maybe Kyler Murray is better than Caleb Williams, and people were talking about that. But no, they beat some talented teams. They beat the Eagles. They beat the Steelers, and they ended up getting Marvin Harrison Jr. The point is, they set the tone last year for like, okay, none of this crap about tanking. We're going to go and beat some teams, and now they're 5-4. And then look at the first 9 games of the schedule. They faced the Lions, the Commanders, the Packers, the Bills, the Chargers. So all these teams, and they come out 5-4. Like, that's pretty impressive for a roster that maybe is a year ahead. They beat the 49ers. They beat the Rams. I don't know how much credit I get them for beating the Dolphins, but they went to Miami with Tua on the field, and they beat down the Bears. So maybe it is their year. Maybe the 49ers are fatigued. Maybe the 49ers won't be saved by Christian McCaffrey. Maybe Deebo Samuel can't stay healthy. Maybe Jawan Jennings can't stay healthy. Maybe that defense is not good at all. So, maybe they're fatigued from 3 consecutive trips to the NFC title game. Maybe they're tired from the Super Bowl run. Like, why not the Cardinals? I think they have a good chance. And, if I'm going to rank it right now, Fernando, it's going to be the Cardinals, the Rams, the 49ers, and then the Seahawks. Maybe a week ago, I would have said the 49ers, and I felt like people are maybe rushing it here. But the more I think about it, maybe it's just not their year. Maybe we're just too tired. So I like the Rams. The Rams are giving me a lot to think about because the defense is better. But I want to see more of a sample size there. And those first 9 games, that was a brutal stretch. Now they get a bunch of cupcakes. So if they keep stacking wins and they go 10 or 11 victories, that might be enough in the NFC West.
I still think the Rams are the better team in the NFC West, but because of Matthew Stafford. But I will give them credit. They have a lot of injuries on their defensive side of the football, and they're managing it. They're playing hard-nosed football. I mean, a lot of people thought that Budda Baker was going to get traded this week, probably, or today or tomorrow. And no,
they're buyers. They're buyers now.
Yeah, they're buyers. They already bought Baron Browning, I think, from the Broncos. Is a good he's a good pass rusher. So yeah, I know. I definitely think that the Cardinals did a really good job yesterday. I thought they really got after Caleb Williams. They didn't really let any of his receivers go wild. I think you know what? I did not even see Caleb's stats. 29-9. That's crazy. The Bears only scored 9 points. He was 22 of 41, 217. Odunze had one for 104 yards, but other than that, nothing.
And try naming 2 players besides Budda Baker on that Cardinals defense, and they got shut down like that.
Kaiser White,
Darius Robinson, the rookie who can't play ever.
Oh, Budda Baker. Yeah, no,
that was the end of the game, by the way.
Yeah, no,
Max Melton, the other rookie that I know.
Oh, there you go. So yeah, no, I was impressed with the Cardinals. When I started watching that game, I saw the way their defense was kind of controlling them, and then I saw which like you said, Jonathan Gannon deserves a lot of. If they win this division, then yeah, Jonathan Gannon. Even though I kind of feel like no matter what happens, if the Chargers get into the playoffs, I feel like it's going to go to Jim Harbaugh.
I really hope Dan Campbell gets it if they get the number 1 seed. He deserves credit for that.
That's the problem.
Yeah, they're just too good. Maybe
we don't go with the best coach. We go with who like, hey, here's this dipshit team like nobody thought was going to make it. Here you go. Oh my God,
here's the turnaround.
Yeah, exactly. So, and you know what? The Cardinals could be that team, and I would totally give it to them.
Maybe the AP should make it a rule and write it. Only dipshit teams from the year before with a new coach get to win.
They did it with Joe Flacco deserved that trophy. Wait, did he get? He didn't get it.
No, Joe Flacco won it, but not DeMar Hamlin. But they changed the rules.
No, never mind.
So I'm just saying, give us the rules here. Is it most valuable or is it best quarterback?
Gilbert, they don't even know what a catch is. Like it's all this. Yeah, this is all messed up. Tell me though, I'll get in there and I'll change it all in a day. But yeah, no, impressive win by the Cardinals.
Who's number 2, by the way, for you? You said Rams and
I'll go Cardinals. Yeah, no. Cardinals.
Okay. Now 49ers 3.
49ers, I am really out on just because I have not seen one game this year where they've impressed me, and I'm like, oh, you know what? That was a really good game by them. I have not seen any of that. The pass rush is not what it used to be. They can't get it after any of those guys. So yeah, no, I'm definitely out on the 49ers. Maybe they can make a wild card spot, but other than that, I just don't see them doing much of anything. It's crazy. The Chiefs have had a longer run in the 49ers, but the Chiefs are the ones that look like they still have energy, and the 49ers are the ones that are gassed. So all right, Gilbert, let's go over to the Lions and the Packers. This was a game, and I'll fall for it. This was a game that I fell for. I thought, you know what, the Lions. Vic, did I go 4-1 this week? Oh, he hasn't checked. All right, my bad. I was just wondering. I think that was the only game that F me. But I fell for it because I thought, you know what, Jordan Love is going to show that he's a baller. He's this, he's that. Jordan Love was kind of what slowed these guys down in my opinion. Jordan Love was 23 and 39, 273 and 1 interception. Jared Goff again, 18 and 22, 145, 1 touchdown. Crazy part about this game, Gilbert, is that the Lions allowed them to hang on for so long. And I thought at one point they're going to turn this around and the Packers are going to come up and make this a game. They couldn't. The Lions defense is very impressive. Brian Branch did not deserve to get kicked out of that game. That was another one that was BS. But again, if they do get Zadarius Smith today or tomorrow, or they can potentially nab a Max Crosby or something like that, then their defense is going to be even better. But I was just surprised to see them out there, the way they played, the way that they were in the rain. By the way, Amon-Ra St. Brown calling his shot, showing up with a Green Bay Sucks hoodie. I was really impressed by that. So yeah, no, I'm really impressed by the Lions now. And I don't think they have another dome game till week 16. So definitely impressive, but the Lions are very, very, very impressive right now.
Yeah, we got to end with that narrative about Jared Goff not being good outside the dome. I think they've beaten the Packers at Lambeau Field 3 consecutive years. So
yeah,
last time I checked, there's no roof there,
and it was raining.
Yeah, so what else do you want to prove it to? They live in Detroit. They know how to deal with weather. Okay, I get they play in the dome. But I told Victor this on Thursday. I'm like, I have a feeling we're gonna feel like not complete about this game because Jordan Love's gonna force it, not look right, and I don't know what to make about Jordan Love because clearly he wasn't right. But then he went back to making his boneheaded mistakes with the pick 6 there to Kirby Joseph, and I'm like, that's not an injury thing. He does that a lot. He makes a lot of dumb mistakes like that, and Matt LaFleur got annoyed with the media because they're finally hounding him about the interceptions. He has 10. That's the most in the NFL. Tied with Geno, but he's played 2 less games. So that's the other problem too. Like if you're not consistent and you're not available, that's another problem. Those are 2 big things right there. When he got hurt with the knee injury and he came back for the Vikings game, he also hurt his team because he wasn't ready to go. They went down 28-0 against the Vikings. Same thing with the Lions here. They're 0-2 in the division, Fernando. And both of those games, do we give it an asterisk because he was coming back from injury? I don't think so. I think it's getting to a point where I can't trust him. He's a very good player. And I get what Matt LaFleur is annoyed about the question. Like, why are we focusing on the interception? He's very good. Matt LaFleur, you accepted that he's going to make mistakes. I get that. You should. He's not Anthony Richardson. It's not that bad. But the media still has to ask about the dumb interception. So he got annoyed and frustrated. But I look at the roster, I look at the team, I look at the quarterback, and I really like the Packers. And then I remember I also can't trust Jordan Love. So that game was a reminder. But I'll say this about the Lions, Fernando. I really like the Lions, and everybody's going to be on the bandwagon about them winning the Super Bowl and possibly beating the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. But don't overlook the teams in the NFC. If you catch a team that you're familiar with, the Vikings or the Packers in the playoffs, they know you well. They could definitely give you an upset there. What did the 49ers and the Rams make it? These two teams have Super Bowl experience. I think that matters come the playoffs. So what did they get in? What did you face? Maybe this, up and rising Commanders team with Jaden Daniels. I know he's a rookie and they're young, but they look like they're unstoppable too at times. So don't just think the Lions are going to cakewalk to the NFC or win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Josina Anderson, I am told that the Commanders have recently assessed potential interest for 2023 first-round draft pick cornerback Emmanuel Forbes on the trade market.
Oh, well, he was drafted by Ron Rivera's regime. That's why.
Yeah, no, that's going to be definitely very interesting. I agree with you with the whole Jordan Love stuff. You can't trust him. By the way, a lot of credit to David Mulugheta for that's his agent. But you have to give him credit. There was a lot of unknowns with Jordan, and I'm not saying that he's a good or bad or that they shouldn't. I would have just waited if I was the Packers, and I know that they thought we went from Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers, and we got 2 Super Bowl rings out of both of them. One out of Brett, one out of him, and they probably thought, oh, we're going to do that again and go for the trio. And I'm not saying that they're not going to do it. I'm not going that route, but I'm just saying as of right now, Matt LaFleur needs to rein him in a little bit and be like, hey, we can't be turning the ball over like that. If not, it's going to keep on costing us. So that's
he might never change, Fernando. He might be like Brett Favre, and is that wrong? He's Brett Favre, if that's
it's not wrong, but at the same time, I mean, the way the league kind of works now, because I don't care how much the league changes. What wins Super Bowls, the Chiefs have shown that is defense. The Bucs showed that when they won the Super Bowl. Like, defense wins championships, and if their defense can take the ball away, you're facing Jordan Love, you're going to be in for. If the opposing defense can take the ball away, and Jordan Love is quarterbacking you, it's gonna be rough if he can't take care of the football. So that's the only thing that I'm saying. I think they need to be very careful moving forward with what they do. But yeah, I mean, Detroit, great win, and now we'll see what they're made. I think they have. I can't remember who do they play on Thanksgiving. That's what I want to know.
The Lions.
Oh, that's gonna be Bear. They play the Bears. Oh, that's gonna be interesting.
Lions Bears. That's what the game is.
Yeah. Oh, Gilbert, the Thanksgiving games. What am I supposed to be giving thanks to that day? Let's see. What's the schedule?
Oh, I see. You got Steelers, Browns, Chiefs, Panthers, or am I?
No. You're on the wrong one. Bears and Lions. Oh, okay. All right, Gilbert. Giants and Cowboys.
No.
Dolphins at Packers.
Oh no, Jesus. Haven't we seen? Didn't we already see the Giants get smacked by the Cowboys on Thanksgiving not too long ago?
Yeah, but now you're not even. Can they flex that? They can't flex that, huh?
I don't know.
No, they should think about it. What are we gonna watch? Cooper Rush against Daniel Jones?
Maybe the Black Friday game with the Chiefs and the Raiders is better than those games. Jeez.
Holy crap! Wow, Thanksgiving. I'm just gonna pop in movies and watch movies. Or hopefully there's some Euro Cup or Champions League or something that I can watch.
Not an America's holiday. You can't watch soccer. Get out of here.
All right. Lastly,
I have a point.
Oh yeah, you're right. Ravens beat the crap out of the Broncos 41-10. Going through what happened in that game. Bo Nix 19-33, 223, 1 interception, couldn't get the ball running. Cortland Sutton 7 catches, 122 yards. That was pretty impressive. On the other side, Lamar Jackson 16-19, 280, 3 touchdowns. Zay Flowers 5 catches, 127 for 2. Did what's his name not play? Deontay Johnson? No, I guess not.
He was in the game, but he didn't get any targets. He barely played.
Ooh. Derrick Henry's already over 1,000 yards, 23 carries, 106, and 2 touchdowns. By the way, every stooge is now trying to yeah, exactly, Jorge. I'm not thankful for those games either. Every stooge is now trying to say that Lamar needs to be the MVP. Dude, it's Derrick Henry. And if you don't think so, then that is a problem that you
maybe
have.
Saquon. Well, maybe one of the running backs. Give him love.
I don't care. Saquon, by the way, when he ass jumped and backward, I was like, oh crap. I'm like, that's actually really impressive.
McCourty was on the broadcast and he wouldn't stop talking about it. I'm like,
yeah, exactly.
It's pretty good, but come on, let's move on.
Are you done with oh my god. Senor Vive Moi. Herbert versus Burrow, Sunday Night Football Flex, saving us from Rodgers versus Flacco retirement match WWE style.
Winner goes home match. Yeah. Loser goes home. Sorry.
Yeah, loser. Yeah, exactly.
Uh,
Gilbert, just what did you think? Are the Broncos a team that nobody wants to watch in the playoffs?
Well, first of all, I'm really hoping the Chargers will beat the Bengals because I think they're the most overrated team, and they beat the Raiders. And I was like, look at them; they're one game out of the playoffs. They're gonna make it, whatever. But I get it; they got Joe Burrow. Maybe they'll be okay to watch in the playoffs. But I don't want the Broncos. They're definitely on the please don't make it. They got exposed as playoff pretenders. When you get beat down by 30 points to another playoff team, that means you're not in the class of the playoffs here. I get it. Maybe they beat the Bucks, they beat the Jets, but this is a fraud team right here. The Broncos, Bo Nix is okay, but you're a mediocre team. Just take the steps forward because you moved on very nicely from the Russell Wilson experience. Let's just move on, but don't get to the playoffs. Don't go too far.
Yeah.
Step backwards.
Rein it back a little bit.
Little back, but you're still doing okay from Russell Wilson. I also don't want to see the Bears in the playoffs. I don't want to see the Buccaneers without Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. I don't want to see them in the playoffs. I don't want to see Joe Flacco or Anthony Richardson in the playoffs. So, yeah, those are probably my 4 teams I do not want to see in the playoffs.
Vic, has anybody gone 5-0 this year? I feel like we always get cursed, and there's always one game where we all. Vic, if you don't have the notes, it's fine. Don't worry about it. I'm just talking out loud, but there's always a game where.
Well, there's a lot of favorites that I think I went with last week.
Oh, my brother would say that you love favorites.
Which it was weird. I always go with dogs. Victor doesn't give me the crappy games to pick. That's why.
Yeah, no, I don't want to watch. I don't think I think the Broncos would be like the look at that. Nobody's gone 5-0 yet. I think the Broncos are kind of like the and don't get on me for this, but like the Texans, where last year the Texans, they beat up on they're kind of like the Browns, where the Browns got everybody was really excited about the Browns, and they go in there and then they get the crap beat out of them by the Texans. So if I'm if you're them, Dan's been close 3 times. What did Dan go this week? Do you know? 3-2 probably, or 2-3, one of those. But 2 and 3. Did Gilberto go 2 and 3 also? Yeah. Okay. That's all Dan wants. Dan wants to keep ahead of Gilberto.
I don't know. Sometimes I don't trust Victor keeping track here, but
whoa. Vic,
guess.
I do.
I haven't had a winning record in a month. I don't know.
By the way, Dominic Mysterio just walked into Monday Night Raw with a cat in his hands. What the hell are we doing?
Nice.
But
where's my
it's moving to Netflix pretty soon. Oh, I know, for real.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I don't want to watch the Broncos. I agree with all the ones that you said. All those teams. I don't know if there's anybody else out. As of right now, I don't even want.
Seahawks are another one, by the way.
I don't know if I want to watch the Texans on in the playoffs.
It's getting to that point. What about your Jets? They have new life.
I want to watch them in the playoffs. I think they'd be fun in the playoffs. That game against the Texans is either going to turn their season around or just continue to bury it. So I'm definitely interested to see what happens there. But all right. Thank you guys so much for checking out another Lunes Live with the Compas. We appreciate you guys so much. This was a lot of fun. Don't forget, tomorrow, we're not going to do anything for the trade. If the Chargers make a trade, would you jump on with me real quick on What's Up Bolts for a little bit? If you don't have work, obviously.
Yeah, if it's way past the deadline and I'm done with my stores, I could definitely consider
it. Cool, because if they make a move, Dan said he can't jump on. So
we also got 4 Compas too.
We have 4 Compas after that at 7:00. Dan will be here, so Vic will be here as well.
I forget, is it 1 p.m. Eastern or is it 1 p.m.
1 p.m.
Pacific?
Eastern.
Oh, okay, so maybe early.
Pacific.
Oh, okay. I hope it was a little earlier, but okay.
Yeah. So so we'll see what happens there. What was the other thing I was gonna? Yeah, Lunes Live. This week, you guys, I'm guessing, are on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Dan and I will go back to warming it up for Gilberto because the What's Up Bolts, they're playing the Titans. We're gonna do it on Thursday because that's Dan's easiest day. So we'll probably jump on around 6:45 at halftime of the Thursday night game. We'll jump on, we'll hang out, we'll have some laughs, and then you guys can go over to Gilberto and get after him. So
I gotta talk to Victor actually because the Rams have a Monday night game. Do we keep it a Wednesday or Thursday? We gotta talk, but I wouldn't mind keeping it to Wednesday.
All right, well, let us know. Oh my God, Jorge. But yeah, all right. Thank you guys so much. You guys are amazing. Gilbert picked the Jets. Oh, so he went 3-2. Oh, okay, there you go.
Stupid Pats. Oh, I got the Cardinals. Okay, Falcons, and the Lions. So I got 3-2. Cool. Okay,
There you
there you
go.
go, Victor. Thank
All
you for doing it. I'm like Donald Trump here. I did not lose.
All right. Appreciate you guys so much. We will be back tomorrow, so make sure you guys stay tuned. Thank you guys. And for the time being, Gilbert, ¿sabes qué? Vámonos.
That's good. Ready to watch Monday Night Football. On that note, ya nos vamos. Pues, vámonos.